Claudia, and welcome to Take a Moment to dot dot dot. And each week that does represent the new topic that I bring to you that I hope will, give you a moment to pause and think about what I'm saying and maybe even tweak perspective just a little bit. I can't believe we're going into now the third week of January, 2024. Wow, time is flying, isn't it? And as you've noticed, the podcast has changed again. We all those have been joining me for a while now and have understood that I changed the podcast toward the end of last year to be um, more in the moment, trusting God completely to give me topics and to be able to voice what I believe He was wanting me to say. It's been a time of discovery. It's been a time of a little frustrating, a little scary at times, but overall good. And coming into this year, um, I was sensing at the end in December, early December last year, that I was to take a break between Christmas and New Year's. And there was good reason for that. I didn't know what it was at the time, but I was praying a lot about the podcast because I was doing an episode every day of the weekday. And I started in June 1st of last year, and I went all the way through December. And I was beginning to feel a bit stressed, even though I knew God was providing the topics for me. I was, recording a number of topics each week, editing and doing all that kind of stuff. And it was beginning to become stressful and unwieldy. And I was praying and I asked the Lord, what should I do? And He answered me. And I'm going to deal with that into this week's topic, which is take a moment to work smarter. And I believe that's the direction he has taken me with the podcast. I do sense that it will continue to evolve. And I'm willing to go with the flow here and allow God to lead me. But with the podcast, as I said, it was getting unwieldy to do 5 episodes a week between the recording of it, the editing of it, the posting of it, and doing all of that. It was taking a lot of time. And I do have many other things going on, and I was juggling a lot, and I am juggling a lot, as many of us do. So when I went away, I was blessed over the holidays to visit family, and they invited me to join them at their home in Las Vegas. And it was a wonderful time. It was so good to see family again that I haven't seen in a very long time. And I was very blessed. And joining the family was my cousin's daughter, who is a very gifted artist, graphics designer, creator, and basically understands social media and what works and what doesn't work. And we were talking, and I was explaining my podcast to her, and she looked at me with those big, beautiful blue eyes of hers and said, "You're doing 5 podcast episodes a week? Are you crazy?" So I said, "I think so. I don't know." So she gave me a crash course in working smarter, primarily for the podcast, but it did have an impact for many other things. And what came out of that is to do the podcast 1 episode a week and then to break the podcast down into little bites and to post those and to attract people to my sites like YouTube and my Buzzsprout site for audio because I'm on all the podcast stations with this podcast. Take a moment too. And my eyes were glazing over. It was like, I don't know what you're talking about. But thankfully, because I have been editing my podcast for quite some time, even editing the previous podcast I did with a co-host, I know how to edit. So eventually I was able to grab hold of what she was doing because she showed me an app to work on my phone, to download the recording, and how to slice it up and edit it and be able to post it on social media to bring people into my sites. And it took a little while. I had did some practice episodes, and she even showed me how to point out from my YouTube channel how to point people to the episode with little arrows and stuff. And all of this was going so against my nature because I like things neat, I like things clean, but I am learning and I am mellowing In working smarter, it doesn't mean everything has to be so buttoned up all the time. And I'm someone, I'm sure you've gathered, I am who I am. I'm very real. There's no pretense. The same, it's true with the podcast. It's true with my life and everything I do. So she said, people are not looking for pretty. They're looking for information and they're looking for topics. And, just give them a snippet of what you want to say. And they know to click on your link. She showed me how to set up a link tree. And that was challenging for me. And every week now, as I'm doing this, and every week, it's 2 weeks now that I'm doing it. I'm still challenged in understanding how the link tree works and how to get it over to my different sites so people can click on it. And I don't know if people are clicking on it yet. I see from my YouTube channel that I am getting more views. So yay! Thank you very much, everyone, for tuning in, for clicking, and all that kind of stuff. But this is a work in progress. I am a work in progress. And I ask for your grace in terms of allowing me to learn as I go. As I said, the podcast is going to keep evolving, but I am like just putting one foot in front of the other and going, okay. So sometimes the episodes look a little clean, and sometimes they have double titles on them because it works sometimes, and then I don't remember what I did. I write it down, and I still can't understand my notes. So bear with me, please. And if anybody can make any wonderful recommendations to me as I plod through all of this, I would very much appreciate it, because this is new territory for me, but I'm willing to take it on. I have taken it on. But as my cousin said, you need to work smarter. Working harder doesn't accomplish anything. All it does is make you tired and frustrated and gets you annoyed with what you're doing, and then you start to lose interest. And I felt that that's what was happening. But what I did was I prayed. I sought the Lord, and I was getting direction. I mean, he does say in his word in Psalm 32:8, I will instruct you and teach you in the way that you should go, and I will guide you with mine eye. I was raised on the King James Version, so that's what comes out when I'm not looking at the scriptures with the Bible in my hand or my app. So I am listening. I am being sensitive to the Holy Spirit within me. I know this is going to be more fun as I go and continue, but I'm learning that the pressure has eased up off of my shoulders with this. And I'm realizing, yeah, working smarter is the way to go here. We will start with an idea, but are we open? We have to stay open, and I've done episodes on this too, to the changes. What is God saying? What is he leading us to do by the Holy Spirit? Because he wants the best for us. And so I pray that you are enjoying the new format, the podcast. I want you to be freed up to work smarter. And, there are priorities in life. We have to understand the difference between what's urgent and what's important. Everything that's urgent is not important. But what is important, that's what we should be focusing on. Urgent things need to be taken care of right away, but we need to prioritize what they are. And then with what is important, we need to break it down and see what really needs to be done and what can wait till later. What is a high priority? What is a low priority? What is urgent? What is not? So that is all inclusive in working smarter. So with this, I hope I have given some perspective or some insight or some light bulb awakening as to what it means to work smarter, using myself as an example. And so with this, I encourage you to take a moment to work smarter.